Friends, Heather here again. Welcome back to the Build a Better Business video series. If you've just discovered these videos, welcome. It is so good to have you. I hope you find these videos helpful. They're full of tips and tricks to get you going on building that business of your dreams. I record a new video every week on topics to help you be more successful. So if you missed any, jump on to the magic of YouTube, check out all the previous episodes, and you can get yourself all caught up. A quick update on my time experiment episode from episode 10 I started a couple weeks ago. I'm still working on it. What can I say? Maybe I should do an episode on how to create new habits. What do you think of that one? You can give me a comment to let me know what you think of that. Anyway, I know it is really not easy to start something new. I am sticking with it, and I will update you sometime soon down the road to let you know how it went and maybe figure out how I actually got myself to form a new habit. For sure, if you are doing it, if you're already done, leave me a comment and let me know how you did. If you did miss that episode, as I was saying, it's episode 10. It's called Where Did the Time Go? And kind of come on and join us on this experiment. Why not? What could go wrong? Also, before I get into this week's episode, I just wanted to check in with you. I hope that you're doing okay. At the time that I'm doing this recording, we are pretty much 2 months into our COVID-19 lockdown, physical distancing, social distancing, whatever you want to call it. And in this new world, many of our usual business routines are shut down. Even our personal routines are shut down. I am still a practicing massage therapist and personal trainer, and those two jobs have definitely not been happening over the last 2 months. At the beginning of all this, maybe you were a bit stressed out. I know I was pretty stressed out at the beginning, trying to figure out how to help clients, what's going on. It's not a lot of information. When we don't know what's happening, we don't know what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. Then we kind of got into, okay, so we know where we are. We figured out what we could do. We're figuring out how we're going to pay our bills, get that mostly sorted out. Maybe you got a little bit used to what was happening. Maybe you figured out something that you'd been wanting to try or something you wanted to get working on, and you've had some time to do it. And now we're getting pretty close in on summer. Maybe you're doing some gardening. Maybe you're getting some fresh air. But now you might also be getting sick of it all. You might be thinking, when is this actually going to end? Well, no one really knows. No one really knows where anything is going, really. If you think about it, that's pretty much true all of the time. Not just now. It's just kind of like right now, it's like the whole global supercharged awareness that we never actually know what's happening on a moment-to-moment basis. Every day, there's going to be something new going on, and you never know where that day is going to lead. All we know for sure, and there's no doubt that things just keep on keeping on, which is kind of a good thing. Once you get over that initial shock of things that are happening and you get yourself refocused, you get yourself grounded, one of the great skills that I've seen a lot of small business owners have this is they get adept at just adapting, shifting, pivoting, whatever you want to call it. Pivot's the word for 2020, I think. They learn to go with that flow and figure out how to move forward even if there's stuff in the way. So I hope you are surfing through this and doing okay. If you need some help, reach out. Don't sit home alone. Don't feel like you're kind of lost. I mean, I'm happy to have a check-in with you. So reach out to your network and don't feel like you're alone, because we're kind of all in this. So this week's super fun and exciting topic is the harmonized sales tax. Wait, not so exciting, I know, but don't turn me off just yet. This is stuff you might actually need to know. And well, I actually do think you need to know it. And it's all relative whether you find it interesting or infuriating, right? I was speaking with a client last week, helping her sort out some of her accounting. And at one point she said to me, "You actually enjoy this, don't you?" And I have to admit, not all of it is exciting, or I would have stayed an accountant. But there are aspects that I find very interesting. It's like a mystery or a puzzle, and I love solving puzzles. When I was in university, I had a stack of jigsaw puzzles in my apartment. And I never ate at my kitchen table because it always had a puzzle in progress on it. It was kind of my studying procrastination method, but I also just really like puzzles. So since I'm going to give you a lowdown on the HST that you may not know, firstly, you should know This is Canadian, obviously, harmonized sales tax. Second, more than half of the country is still on the GST instead of the HST, but the general rules still apply. GST is just goods and services tax, HST is harmonized. I'm going to probably use the terms interchangeably. Since I'm in Ontario and we have HST, I'll probably say HST a lot. And it is a big topic. So guess what? It's going to have two parts, just so you don't lose your mind halfway through. So I'm going to give you some information now. You can ponder it over, think about it. And then next week you get part 2. How exciting. This topic actually came about really because of some conversations that I was having with some RMTs, massage therapists, about their businesses and where they were having some challenges. Now we were talking about challenges in general, not just this COVID-19 world challenge, but kind of just their ongoing business challenges. And after some questions, it became obvious to me that there's some serious confusion still with some people on how the HST works. And it could really cause them some problems down the road. And I would hate for you to get stressed out about taxes and whether or not you were doing it correctly. So we're not going to calculate it here physically, but I'm going to go over the who, what, when, where, why about the HST and hopefully sort out some problems for you and answer some questions. So first, what the heck is the HST? Harmonized sales tax, aka goods and services tax, GST. I'm not going to get political on whether it's right or wrong or all of the issues behind it, but the HST is quite simply the government getting a piece of pretty much every financial transaction that takes place in the economy. There's exclusions, there's things that aren't included, there's always exceptions to the rule. This is why the Tax Act is so thick. I think it's 2 volumes now, but most things are hit by a form of tax, and massage therapy is one of them. We're so lucky. Again, I'm not going to go into whether this is right or not. It's just the reality right now is if you are a massage therapist in Canada, you charge the harmonized sales tax or the goods and services tax. So the first thing you need to consider is, do you have to register to collect? There are people who do not have to register that do register for the HST anyway, and I'll talk about that I think next week, and I'll suggest reasons why you might register even if you don't have to, but that's for later. That's for another class. Technically, you 100% must register for the HST when you hit that threshold of $30,000 in gross income over 4 consecutive calendar quarters. So there's 2 parts to this that you have to pay attention to. The first part is the $30,000 income threshold. That is all, make sure you heard that right, all of your sources of income, not just massage, if you're a massage therapist. Any income that you earn that is not employment income has to be counted in your income calculation. And if you have trouble figuring out the difference, I totally get it. So here's an easy guideline. Employment income, the income you do not have to include, is where someone has hired you and takes deductions for taxes, CPP, EI, anything like that. So if you work for someone's clinic, you could be an employee where the clinic makes your tax deductions, remits them to the government, and you get a T4 at tax time. You file your taxes, you fill in the blanks, pretty simple. But in the same environment, you might be an independent contractor, and that's where you invoice the clinic and they pay you, and you would likely get a T4A at tax time, which is different than a T4. T4s have deductions, T4As generally don't. And so when you are a contractor, that is your business income, and that is part of the $30,000 threshold. At the same time, you might have a side hustle. Maybe you're a dog walker. Maybe you're also a personal trainer. Maybe you're a fitness instructor. Maybe you're a Facebook ads manager. There's so many high side hustles going on out there, and if they are not employment income and you're receiving income from several businesses that you're running and where you're the boss, all of that non-employment income is included in the $30,000, right? Okay, check. The next part of that conversation is 4 consecutive calendar months. This one can trip people up. So I know lots of people, not just therapists, who have no idea how much they make in a year until they do their taxes at the end of the year. And this could get you into trouble. So here's the deal. Let's say you had a pretty decent third quarter, say July to September, and that quarter is often slow in massage, right? People are at their cottages, they're not thinking about massages. But let's just say you had a really good one. And then, of course, then comes massage busy season, fourth quarter, which is October, November, December. And you might look at your income at the end of December that year. Let's say it's 2018, because 2019 and 2020 are kind of out the window. Let's say it's 2018. The last part of 2018, you did great, but you still didn't hit the 30,000. You're like, okay, I'm fine. It's all good. You file your taxes, you're on your way. But then maybe something happens, like you had an amazing first quarter, January, that's why I'm saying 2019. January 2019, the first 3 months of January 2019, you did amazing. And if you took the last 3 quarters of 2018 and the first quarter of 2019, if those added up to 30,000, you immediately should register for the HST. So you can see that if you don't keep track until the end of the year, you could end up in trouble, because you might not notice till the end of the year that you should have been registered all year long. The government could get a little cranky over that. So if you've been watching any of my videos, you already know that I really strongly believe you should be on top of how your business is doing every month. So then this would never happen to you, right? Because you would always know how much money you're making. So now you're registered. What the heck do you do now? Well, first I'll give you a teaser. It's going to be next week. Next week, I'm going to introduce you to something called the Quick Method. And this is where you could actually legit make money for collecting the HST from the government. So tune in next week to get the latest and greatest on how to make money collecting the HST. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, you can always go back and check out any of the ones you missed. To make sure you don't miss any, click the subscribe button. Hey, why not tell a friend if you actually find these videos helpful? I will see you again next week. Until then, my friends, please take care of yourselves. I am Heather, the owner of Prosperity Flow Coaching. I am a business coach for health and fitness professionals, and I help people who help people. Thanks very much, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.